Looks like we are about ready to go. How are you doing? This is me, your host, Vice Captain. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. Hopefully you're doing fine, because I'm doing pretty good too. Let me transition us over. Also, wow, this track is starting really quiet. Yeah, we can do that. All right. Let me get us over here. All right, we'll say, hey, how you doing? I'm doing pretty good myself, and hopefully you're doing good too. We're trying something really different tonight. Since we finished Final Fantasy IV, and we're probably going to be live again tomorrow for the New Year's Eve stream. I figured, why not do something a little bit different? I was sort of talking about this back and forth on last stream, but yeah, let's do something fun. I'm going to try to learn a little bit about 5th edition, because I'll be honest, I really don't know a lot about it, other than some light stuff. So let's sort of talk about it. Hey, what's up, Krusik? So, this is going to be, I'm going to be perfectly honest with everyone, a little bit of a boring stream, because I'm going to be pulling up Player's Handbook and stuff, and we're going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about my experience with D&D, because, it's kind of interesting. I feel like D&D is really cool because everyone gets to sort of tell their own story of, hey, how you got into it, or maybe like what version of the game you played. For me, it's very funny. I talk about this a lot, but for me, the version of the game that I played that sort of got me into it was 3.5. And I know a lot of people will hear that and go, 3.5, what are you, like 50 years old? 40 years old? No, I'm not. It's just really funny because I think what it was during the pandemic, I had been mostly like playing like Final Fantasy XIV with some friends, and those friends had a D&D group that they'd been playing for years at that point. And what happened was, one day they asked me if I wanted to play tabletop with them. I had no idea what the hell that meant, okay? And it got really funny because, of course, I'm going to be honest with you, my first tabletop experience was not D&D. I played Warhammer 40k Dark Heresy, a very different game than D&D. It was very complicated, and I had no idea what I was doing. It was a little bit much. But then one of them suggested, hey, why don't we play Dungeons & Dragons? I mean, we have a campaign that's going on. Why don't you just join? I was a little bit hesitant at first, to be honest, because I like Warhammer as much as a nice guy, but it's very difficult to try and get into a character and roleplay in that world because you're either like a super military guy or, you're kind of like a roguish trader or something. It's very, very specific, you have to be in like a mindset to pull off that type of character, you know what I mean? That, and I didn't know any of the lore, so... yeah, not my greatest achievement. My first real exposure to Warhammer was getting dropped into a Warhammer campaign that's very complicated and full of espionage, demons, and all this other crap. And I had no idea what the hell I was doing. So, yeah, not the greatest. I'm going to be real with you. So, they got me into play 3.5. Now, I have to laugh because these guys are all like the same age as me or younger, and you're probably wondering again, 3.5? Ew, what are you, 40? No, actually, I think one of the guys, his dad taught him how to play 3.5 because he used to play like tabletop back then, and for him and his brother, they learned to play 3.5. I think they tried 4th edition maybe once, and then it never really took off for them. And then 5th edition happened, and 5th edition for them was interesting because they were like, it's not that bad. It's just more of not really their style. It's mostly, and I say that because to them, how they've explained it to me is they feel like 5th edition, while it's good for getting new people into the door, like I think it's a good way to get people to sit down and try and play the game. They feel like there's not enough customization, which fair enough, which we're going to take a look at in a second, but don't worry, it's going to be a long yapping stream, just so you know. So, hey, if you got this on the side, I mean, that's great. You're going to have some wonderful Japanese. You're going to have me talking, lots of D&D, lots of tabletop stuff, at least from my experience, and get a little bit of stories here and there, if that's more your thing. So, let me just wrap this little story here. So, they taught me 3.5, and 3.5 has a lot of customizations and also like way too many books, and we'll get to that. We'll talk about that. So, our main topic, 5th edition. I've only played one session of a 5th edition game, and I'm really sad because the campaign died immediately after. I'll be honest, I didn't know what to play, so I made a fighter, and well, I don't know. I guess fighter's good. I learned that from Baldur's Gate 3, which again, that's the second instance of me ever touching 5th edition. Now, Baldur's Gate 3 is a very different game. It plays like a Larian game, so think of it as like, what's it called? 5th edition plus, you could say, or like 5th edition video gamified, because there's some extra stuff and interactions that you can do in the game, but necessarily can't do in tabletop. So, I'm yapping. Let me get the book out. Let's start doing this. Now, I've created a UI for this. Oh, whoops. As I completely just minimize everything by accident. Real smooth. Good going, Vice. Okay, let me pull that up, and let me make sure. Oh, okay. Now, this is going to be scuffed, but bear with me. We're going to do a couple things here. The game plan for tonight, we're going to do a couple things. We're going to look at the handbook, and then I'm going to try to make a character. I also have a couple extra books. So we've got, at our desk here, we've got our player's handbook. We have the 5th edition dungeon manual, and we also have the monster manual, so we can take a look at some of that. I've got some extra books on the side, but let's see how we're feeling by the end of the start of this. So let's get to. Let me just make sure we got our music still playing. Good. All right. Behold, we've got our new desktop here. Well, a little bit something interesting. I scratched it up with some help from a friend, and yeah, I think it looks good. So let's pull up some stuff. Let's start off with the player's handbook. Let me just do that, and if I do this, let's see, will this work? Please work. And there we go. Ta-da! The PHB. Yeah. So, I'll be honest, I don't know exactly when 5th edition came out. I think it came out, what, 2010? 2015? Hold on, you know what? I have a web browser. Let me Google this real quick. When did D&D 5th edition come out? I'm assuming 2010s. Yeah, when did this release? Oh, 2014. Wow, that's a lot newer than I thought. Yeah. Okay, well, this makes this interesting. Wow, it's 10 years. Holy shit. Yeah, I know, right? 10 years too late. But, you know, I mean, look, if I started D&D 3.5 in, what, 2020? Which is like literally 20 years, I think, at that point. Oh, shit. I think I'll be fine. Okay, well, let's crack this open. Player's Handbook. Not a bad cover art. I do like a lot of the cover arts on D&D books, and you're going to hear me talk a lot about art in D&D, and this is going to be fun. All right, what do we got here? Let's see. Adventures, using this book, how to play. Okay, I'm very curious about the step-by-step because the main thing that I remember being an issue, especially when it came to, like, what's it called? This is more of a issue when it comes to like older editions. Creating a character is pretty complicated. I know we're gonna have a step-by-step here and we're gonna sort of take a look at that, but from my knowledge, it should be fairly quick and easy to make a character, at least, you know, from a glance here. So we'll do that, and we're gonna take a look at that. I also, like I said, I mentioned earlier, we're gonna be creating a character a little later, but let's do a little bit of reading. Let's learn, right? Okay, so what do we got here? Introduction, that's going to be explanation, step-by-step character, the different races. Oh, okay. Oh, Tiefling's a baked-in race now. I think it was a Dragon Magazine thing in 3.5, because I don't think Tieflings were in the base game. You had to, like, find a resource for it. Okay, you have half-orc, half-elf, gnome, dragonborn. Okay. Okay, I'm curious about this, actually. What classes do we have? Barbarian, Bard, Cleric, Druid, Fighter, Monk, Paladin. Okay. Interesting. Alright. I guess psionics didn't become a thing in 5e? Because I remember scions were a thing in the older editions, but... Wait, actually, yeah. Shouldn't there be psionics? Because, there's Githyanki, right? That's a race. So, I guess maybe there's no psionics. Maybe it's a race-specific thing in 5th edition? Okay. take a look at our preamble. Not yeah. In a realm called the Midwest. Yeah, that sounds about right. Okay. Let's see. Read the rules, the game, story in the world. Okay. The DM. Oh, okay. So this is going to be like a little bit of an introduction, like if you're getting into it. Oh, hey, Castle Ravenloft. Well, we'll talk about that a little later. Oh, okay. So this is a setup. Using this book, R1's creating the character, how to play the game, and then talking about magic. Okay, we're going to talk about magic because I am kind of curious how magic works in 5th edition, because I know I always complain about concentration before, and I'm kind of curious to see sort of how this is going to be done. Okay, step by step. Your first step in playing as an adventurer in the Dungeons & Dragons games is to imagine your character and to create your own. Okay, cool. So basically explaining, make a character that could work with the story, or make a character that you want to be, or someone you want to play. Simple enough. Tieflings are a race with, there's like 15? Damn. Oh, no psychic class? Ah, man. There's some subclasses, but no classes that give you psionics. Ah, gotcha. It's kind of funny. I say that because for me, I really like playing occult classes in D&D. I know, this is really weird. I like playing wizards and spellcasters, but I also like occult classes if I can play them. Like, my favorite class to play... Ooh, this song's a banger. Hold up. Yeah. Wow. This version in the jazz album? Kind of fire. Okay, sorry. Distracted. But yeah, no, I will say definitely... for a fact, I really like playing like Mesmer and some of the other occult classes. Like I started playing a spiritualist in my recent campaign, and I'm kind of liking it. It's a little janky. Like that's kind of the crux that you deal with when you play occult classes. They're not very well designed, or they're too obscure, so it gets a little bit difficult when you're trying to play it. Okay, so back to the book. Let's see. Choose a race. Every character belongs to a race, one of many intelligent humanoid species in the D&D world. The common player race traits, let's see, are dwarves, elves, halflings, humans. Okay, so did they ever fix the problem? And so in older D&D, there was kind of an issue where people would usually, okay, this is a min-max problem, and I know we're min-maxing already, but so I don't know if they ever fixed the issue, but I know in older editions of D&D, there was kind of a problem where you would literally always want to be a human because of I think it was like the extra +2 to your attributes and then a bonus feat. So it was kind of overpowered and it's like really good. Like a lot of people, the reason why you would play a human is just because you get that head start with an extra feat, or, you get the extra +2 to whatever stat. I'm assuming they at least get a +2 onto something, but I'm kind of curious. Okay. So let's see what we got. Let's see, widespread, races like Dragonborn. I'm actually kind of interested in seeing how the Dragonborns work on this, because from my knowledge when I was reading through this, or like old D&D stuff, I don't think Dragonborn was one of the base races. That's cool though, I like that. Dragonborn and Tieflings are included. You get a nice variety. Let's see, the race you choose does that, particular race traits like special senses. So I'm assuming a lot of the other races have like not night vision, dark vision. That'd be good. Okay. Good to know. Let's see, choosing the class. What do we got? I assume it's not as crippling as it used to be. Let's see, 5e humans get an extra feat and +1. Ah, I see. Ah, okay. Yeah, no problem. Yeah. So the reason I bring that up is because in like a lot of older editions of D&D, a lot of people would usually play human for those bonuses, which it kind of sucks because it's like at that point I'm like, what if I want to play a dwarf? But then it's like, oh, you have to deal with movement penalties. I remember the one time one of my friends tried to play I think like a halfling, and he had a problem with hey, what's up? Good to see you, Joe. No, yeah, one of my friends played a halfling, and his problem was he could not get into combat. Like, he would have to charge action every time to get into the fight, and it was, like, painful for him to get into the fight. It turned into a mess, like, half the time. You know what? Wait, hold on. Why do I not have you as a mod? You know what? Oh, no. My bad, Joe. I almost banned you. Let me give you mod. Hold on. I'm sure I can remember how to do that. There you go. Congratulations, you're a mod. I'm surprised I haven't modded you in this yet. Hey, what's up, Leaf? Okay, let's see. Okay, so yeah, I'm curious about this with the classes. I'm sure we'll look into all of these in more depth. I know we're starting really light because we're still just going through the intro here. But let's see what else. Okay, so it seems like okay, so from the tip up above, it mentioned like some races are better at certain classes, but also it seems more like, from at least how they're describing it here, the classes are more modular. So it's like, it's not necessarily bad if you're playing like maybe a mixed match of like, oh, there's no race mounts. Oh, okay, that's not that bad. I'll be honest, that's a lot better than like some old times, because I think like movement penalties are horrible. Like, I think I wrote it as a joke, or like at one point I even wrote something now where I'm like, look, if you want to play a dwarf, I'm just going to remove the movement penalty, because I'd rather have all the players move at a base 30 feet for the most part, or at least like, 25, because in most combat encounters it's kind of rough, especially if they're like fighting maybe a monster or like an animal, and it dashes away, runs away, then charges, stuff like that. It usually ends up being a bit more difficult, and I understand making a difficult encounter like that, obviously the point, but you know what I mean? It's like, I don't want to make it annoying for the players, and I don't want to make it annoying for me, the DM. Look, you have to cave in sometimes, and sometimes it means giving those bonuses back. Oh, there's like a quick build thing. Let's see, each class description in section 3. Oh, okay, so there's like a quick get started build. Okay, cool. So let's take a look at this. Okay, you start at level 1, gain experience. Okay, I'm kind of curious. How do you guys like getting the XP in a campaign? I usually do milestones with my players, and especially like with the other people in my DM group, we typically do like a lot of milestone EXP, just to sort of prevent the issue of grinding EXP, which is really funny because one of my friends that I had joined for a session, and he had never played with our group. He was trying to go and make sure to kill every single enemy in the encounter, even though they basically won the encounter. So some of the enemies were fleeing, etc. And we kind of had to add a character, tell him, no, it's okay. You don't need to chase them down. It's all right. You guys won. And then I gave EXP that way. Yeah, Let's see, they removed favorite class. Okay, that's good, yeah. They did change the ASS stuff. Oh, then that's good. Okay, that's not bad. Then, like, if it's a big list, I think that sounds great, actually. Yeah, that could be really cool. Because then you can... I like that, because now you can play whatever race you want then, and you can sort of... It kind of sounds like, I think it's like in Pathfinder, with the alternate race features, or at least in Pathfinder 1E, you could do stuff like that. You do EXP because you want to see additional rewards. You know what? Okay, I can see that. Oh, okay. That makes more sense, yeah. Because you play with strangers, it's probably better to do it that way. Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Okay, let's see what we got. Hit points and hit dice. Okay. Summary of the different stats. Okay. Oh, okay, so this also just has the list of all the different benefits per race on that. Okay. Huh, okay. Let's see, proficiency. Okay, so this is the other thing I was curious about, because I know proficiency is important, I think, in this edition. This is going to sound silly because I don't know this too well, but I guess we're going to find out, right? Okay. See, the table that appears on your character, let's see, on your class description shows you're proficient, so +2. Okay, so is that like a +2 on just weapons or a +2 on other things? You know what? We're gonna stick a pin in that. Let's see. Attack rolls with weapons you're proficient with. Okay. Attack rolls with spells you cast. Interesting. Okay. Ability checks using skills you're proficient with. DC saving throws. Your class determines your weapon proficiencies. Okay, so same thing like in older editions. Your class usually determines like what skills you're proficient with, what armors and stuff. I'm assuming most are like proficient with like light weaponry, or at least like is it like light armor? I think, yeah. Let's see, proficiency is easy, gain bonuses tied to your level. Oh, so it's tied to the level. Long story short, if you're trained in a thing, you get bonuses. Okay. So you hate EXP leveling because it turns it into a video game. Yeah. I kind of agree with you on that. I can see the point in that. The socialist society, EXP for everyone. No, but I completely get you, Chris. Because I've done that too, where in one campaign I've had it where if the players succeed in maybe like a social environment, or like say they go through a difficult discussion without maybe having an encounter, I'll still give them the EXP for that encounter because you technically resolved it, but in another way. You know what I mean? And I think that's the most important way to go about it. It's tricky, but hey, if the players did it, I think that's great. Yeah, exactly. I'm with you there, Joe. I think both approaches have merit because, yeah, you could definitely do both. Totally. I definitely see the benefit of it. Let's see what else we got. The determining ability scores. Okay, so this is just like allocating stats. Oh, okay, this is the explanation of like modifiers. Okay. Yes. My ability score of 1. I love having low intelligence and getting deleted. I am as smart as a brick. Okay. Let's see. You generate your character's ability scores randomly. Okay, so this is the other thing too. I guess my question is, or I typically like doing point buy, but I know some people like to roll their stats like that. I've actually never, I think I've only done it once, rolling stats for a character sheet. I've only done it once. Actually, I think it was in yet another 5th edition game that I played where we only had one session and then it died. Look, it's not intentional, okay? I don't know why. It's just whenever one of my friends does a 5th edition game, we only do like one session and then it dies because either the DM just ghosts us or, you know, everyone just loses interest. I don't know. It's kind of tricky. Look, that's why I always end up getting people together to play like Pathfinder or something. Okay, let's see. Let's see. You roll 4 6-sided dice, record the number, pick the 3 highest. Do this 5 more times, so you have 6 numbers. Oh, okay, so you just roll a bunch, and you get that, and then you sort of pick and choose and allocate it that way. Okay. I typically like doing point buy. I guess that's kind of different for everyone. I know point buy is a little min-maxy, but I do appreciate it because it lets me feel like I'm in more control. Does 5e have point buy? I think we'll check in a second. Yeah, customizing ability scores. Let's see, Dungeon Master's options. Yeah, there is point buy. You have 27 points to spend on your ability scores at the cost of each score is listed below. Yeah, so there is point buy. Now, I will say, when we do create our character later, I do have a point buy calculator pulled up on the side, so we will do it that way, just because that's the way I'm familiar with doing it. So, yeah, sure, why not? Knock yourself out. If you want to follow along, by all means. Look, we're gonna be here a while. We got a lot of stuff to read. So I'm totally cool with hanging out while we're doing this. Let's see. And then, of course, describing your character, things like alignment. Let's see, your ideals and bonds and flaws. Okay, so this may be a little bit more gamified in this version. I mean, usually when we write backstories, we include these things, but I guess maybe this is, if you don't know, you could try, like, is there like a table that you can roll for this? Well, we'll take a look at that in a second. But it's funny, I'm kind of curious to see if alignment, if alignment has a bigger role in 5th edition, because in older editions, alignment was very important, where like some spells just, they require alignment, that's just how they work. I remember it's even the same thing in like old Pathfinder as well. Alignment is really a thing there. Ah, okay. So then I would assume it's mostly like flavor. Yeah, player. I see. You rarely see alignment being a thing. Interesting. That's funny because in these older editions, it's important, but at the same time, you can sort of play around with it. So like, for an example, I know I've ran encounters and Joe has ran encounters before where we have certain enemies that will target players based on their alignment. Or maybe, let's say it uses a big spell that hits the whole room, okay? We would say, depending on your alignment, this spell will have a different effect. Like if you are the same alignment, there will be no effect. If you are opposite alignment, you'll take damage. And if you are of neutral or in between any of those, you'll get a status effect or something like that. It sort of leads to like a lot of creative thinking when you make these encounters, because you don't always have to play by the book. You can sometimes look at older spells and get ideas from them. And that's typically how I sort of like look at alignment. Alignment can be used as a gameplay mechanic, but it's also more for flavor and more for roleplay, to be honest, at least in my book, but who knows? Maybe we'll learn a little bit more. Hopefully we can see a bit more. What else we got here? Oh, this is just talking about like descriptions of the stats and all of that. Okay. Different equipments. Also, wait a minute, what's going on in this chat? Oh, it's literally Battle at the Big Bridge, or Battle at the Big Bridge. And it's the sounds of the fight. Nice, I like that. Okay. So let me see. Other things. Equipment. Okay. So each class has their background. Determine your starting equipment. Interesting. Including weapons, armor, their adventuring gear. Okay. I'm kind of curious to sort of see. I wonder if we can take a look at that a little later. Hopefully in the book it'll have a list of it, because I'm kind of curious to see like what other starting items you get, like outside of just like regular weapon and armor, like what other flavor pieces of equipment. Like I'd assume you get like a bedroll, maybe a couple of basic stuff, but if not, I mean, that's just kind of on us for whenever we make campaigns to make sure that the players at least have simple traveling gear. Doesn't need to be complicated, but if they're adventurers, depending on the start of your campaign, we can sort of determine that. Let's see, for alignment, you don't have alignments assigned to characters until after the campaign ends. Okay, that's one way to do it. I typically, I'm cool with just letting the players pick their alignment, because it sort of helps them sort of put them in the mindset of what type of character they are. It's more of a roleplay thing for my players, so I just kind of let them do their thing on the... Yeah. Yeah, I know. All my homies are neutral. Yeah, that's the cheat code, okay? Don't tell everyone that. The cheat code is to always be neutral, because you get to do whatever you want. Except, don't, because then the DM will get angry at you. And yes, I will get angry at you. Let's see. Classes and backgrounds give you the equipment. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, wait, so... Wait, is there a starter amount of gold that you can get? Okay, we'll take a look at that. You try to run long-term games, you made alignment a thing, the DM track. Interesting, okay. Huh. It's not bad. Okay, let's see what we got. Armor class. I'm familiar with that. Let's see how different it is now. Let's see, represents avoiding things, yep. Okay, still goes off a dexterity modifier. That's important to know. Not all characters wear armor or carry shields. However, without armor or shield, your character's AC equals 10 plus your dexterity. Okay, so 10 plus dex mod. That's par for the course. If your character wears armor, carries a shield, etc., recalculate it on your sheet. So basically, add any additional AC. Make sure that it's set as your armored AC. I'm assuming armor AC, flat AC, and natural AC are still a thing, but we'll figure that out. Or correction, touch AC. That's what I'm thinking. Okay. Character needs to be proficient with it. Yep, they should be. Let's see, some spells and class features grant you a different way. Okay, wait a minute. So I'm assuming that's stuff like mage armor. Okay. Let's see, for each weapon your character carries, calculate the difference of the modifier for when you hit. Let's see, for attacks on melee weapons, they use your strength. For attacks with dex, they use your... Ooh, okay. That's kind of good. Okay, we'll talk about that. Only 1 AC for everything. Oh, okay. I thought it was going to be different because I'm used to the 3 numbers. You have your natural AC, your flat-footed AC, and then you have your touch AC. Or like your regular AC, which is your base plus your armor. Touch, which is your natural, and then, or flat-footed, which is your natural with dex penalty. And then the last, which is your magic AC, basically, whenever things are spells that are touching you. Okay, so 1 AC, that's fine. I could see that being simplified. I completely understand that. I'm kind of curious though to see sort of how that differs a bit, because I know for certain encounters, like for example, say you're fighting a golem or like a robot, for simple, choices here. I'm very curious to see how this would work, because typically a golem with, let's say a golem, steel golem, let's say it's got like 30 AC. It would have a very low touch AC. So ideally, you would have, how does this work then? I'm kind of curious, because you would have the case of, if this golem's got 30 AC, and then how would you hit it if it's all sharing the same thing? Unless like rules is written on the monster sheet, it says, if this is targeted by a spell, the AC should be da-da-da-da-da, you know what I mean? So like, let's say its touch AC is 5, basically making it so you can't hit it with physical attacks, but if you hit it with magic attacks, that's the way to go. So I'm kind of curious to sort of see, maybe when we look at some other things, it'll become a bit more apparent. You can overcome AC by forcing saving throws instead. Okay. I mean, yeah, I guess if you try to make like a golem do a dex save, it would obviously fail. Yeah. Or maybe, I think maybe a wisdom, or I think golems have good wisdom. I think golems have good wisdom and constitution. So yeah, probably a dex save. Not bad. Okay. Looking back here at the weapons real quick. Let's see. Using your strength for attack and damage, that makes sense. A weapon that has a finesse property, such as a rapier, can use dex mods instead. Okay, that's interesting. So I guess they just remove the feat tax, because that was a big issue. Like if you were going to be a dex fighter, you would need to use like weapon finesse. I guess finesse is now just a baked-in property on certain weapon typing now. So now you don't have to. Well, I'm assuming actually that feat probably doesn't exist anymore. It probably got phased out. Okay. I do like the change to ranged weapons. That's really, really good, because now is it not only using dex to attack, it's also using dex for damage, which is good. I like that. Let's see, a weapon that has a thrown property, such as a hand axe, can use your strength mod instead. Cool with that as well. I think that works. That helps smooth out some of the problems, because I'm gonna be honest, I don't think anyone wants to do the additional feat taxing. Now, I guess that's one thing to note when it comes to like characters in the older editions. A lot of it is feat taxing. Dex and Wisdom are the most usability scores in 5e. Ah, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, it's really funny, yeah, because like Dex is like a very front-loaded attribute. It's very good. Like Dex and Wisdom are both very good because, well, one, they're used for saves or for saving throws, which is important. But Dex like double dips a lot because it's not only saving throws, it's your AC, and it's also your attack, and it's also your damage. Wow, Dex is really good in 5th edition. Damn. I'm not going to complain about that. They found a way to make it even more viable. I like that. Okay. What else we got? See, coming together. Okay, so this is talking about playing with the party. Going beyond the first level. This is what's called gaining a level. Nice, everyone loves that. Okay, how does leveling up work in 5th edition? Your character gains a level, so you gain additional features, such as detailed in the class description. Okay, so you just copy from the box. Some of these features allow you to increase ability scores, either by increasing by 2 scores by 1, or increasing 1 by 2. You can't increase a score over 20. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. I know in like older editions it gets really funny because like, I think if you min-max your character properly, like you can hit well over like 20 attribute score pretty early. It's just interesting seeing, okay, so it's hard capped in 5th edition. I can understand that. I guess that's to sort of control the amount of damage that a player is pumping out, although I'm sure there's ways to deal lots of damage in 5th edition, but I can understand it getting kind of crazy. See, very few things Yeah, very few things care about intelligence unless you're playing a wizard, playing a mindful layer campaign. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, in case they do like intelligence drain, you don't want to drain all your intelligence and die because you turn into a brick or something. Okay. Let's see. Oh, let's see. In addition, every character's proficiency bonus increases. Okay, so oh, wait a minute. I realized proficiency is just BAB. Is it? Base attack bonus, or is that like different? There are a few items that can allow you. Ah, okay. I see. Okay, I was kind of curious how that was going to work. Let's see. Each time you gain a level, you get to roll hit dice and then add your con mod. Okay, so that's about the same. Cap is level 20. Proficiency bonus. Oh, wait a minute. This is standardized proficiency bonus. +2 all the way up to +3, 4, 5, 6. Huh. Is BAB a thing then? I mean, BAB was a thing in older editions. Maybe we'll find out. Oh, first tier levels 1 through 4 characters are effectively apprentices. Yep, that makes sense. 5 to 10, you're starting to sort of become a tougher character, learning the ways of the world. Third tier, yep, characters have reached a power spike. And then at 17 to 20, you are the pinnacle. That makes sense. Let's see, there isn't a BAB anymore. Now it's your main skill plus proficient. Okay. Oh, okay, so it's kind of... So proficiency is like a pseudo BAB. Okay. Because it's BAB, but it's also used for other things. Okay. Proficiency applies to weapons, skills, and a bunch of other things. Gotcha. Okay. Alright, well, there's that. Now it's time for Chapter 2. We're looking at the races. Let's see. Other things. Whoops, there we go. Ability score increases. Age, we usually just ignore that. Let's see. If you play as someone young or very old, your age could explain a low strength or a constitution score or an increased intelligence or wisdom. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, that's kind of a meme because, look, if you want to go roleplay maxing, okay, you could do that. But I'm gonna tell you, it's very dangerous, at least in older editions. I don't know how dangerous it is in 5th edition. You typically don't want a negative modifier. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, that's fine. I figured that would be the case because I was gonna say, I'm like, age mechanic. I'm like, I didn't know we were playing Pathfinder. Ew. Who wants to use those spells? Take 1d6 and you age 1d6 plus 8 years in like instantly. I'm like, oh, who wants to do that? All my homies have 16 con. Exactly. Look, sometimes you just gotta make sure that you've got the HP. Like, look, I learned my lesson in my first campaign. I dumped strength and I had like below average con. So my poor wizard was fragile. The poor guy, he would just fall over and die. So, you know, look, you learned your lesson. Let's see, alignment. Most races have tendencies towards a certain alignment, but these are not binding for the players. Yeah, makes sense. Let's see, consider why is your dwarf chaotic? Okay, so this is more like roleplay stuff. Let's see, size. Most races are medium-sized categories. Some are roughly 4 to 8 feet tall, and small ones are 2 to 4, which means, okay. They have trouble wielding heavy weapons. Okay, so I'd assume that's like a typical thing. They changed racial bonuses in an explanation called Tasha's Cauldron. Right? Oh, okay. Okay, fair enough. Oh, that's the one book I don't have, Tasha's Cauldron. Well, next time I'll grab a copy of that and we can take a look at that maybe. Okay, let's see what we got. Starting off the top, we got dwarf. Well, let's see, what do we got here? Good to know. I like the description on that. Dwarf's gonna move up to 400 years. All right, yeah. Nice. It also has a little bit of background from the Forgotten Realms. Okay. But I'm curious, what else do we got here? Okay. Interesting. Purple kingdoms stretch up beneath mountains. We're towards them. Yep. Okay, so you can definitely come up with like a character that is like a gem trader or something like that. Chief, the Dwarven clans. They're typically artisans. Oh, dude, I'm just thinking a Dwarven caravan master could be like a really fun idea. Okay. Slow to trust. I guess more flavor here. There are monsters that do age. Ah. The Kenku. It can. Oh no. Damn. Okay. Yo, what's up? How you doing? Hey, what's up, Kombucha? Well, welcome to the D&D stream where I sit here and we're reading through PDFs together. It's don't worry, it's one of these streams. I'm having fun. Everyone's hopefully having fun here, hanging out with me as I'm like bumbling my way through these books. I know we just got to the first race in our book. We're still in the PHP, but it's okay. We're having fun. Let's see, Dwarven traits. Oh no, your shoulders are obliterated. Oh man. Let's see. But you would say, but okay. Let's see, dwarves are are racially resistant to alcohol poisoning, which means they resist all poison. Yeah, sounds about right. All right, let's see. Traits. This is what I'm kind of curious at, because I'm curious how different this is. Let's see, Constitution score increased by 2. That's par for the course, expected. Dwarves can live up to 350 years on average. Average about 50. They're still considered young. Damn. Let's see. Alignment. Most dwarves are lawful, believing firmly in that. Okay. So I guess that's just a little bit of a background on that. So if you wanted to choose, like, say this is your first time, you don't know what you're doing, you can lean more towards that. Okay. Good. Medium-sized creature. What is their base move speed? 25. But your speed is not reduced by wearing heavy armor. You know what? I'll take that. I'll take that. 5-foot move penalty, but no reduction. Sure, I'll take it. Ah, yes. The DM's Bane. There it is. Good old dark vision. Let's see. 60 feet in front of you as if you were... Yep, okay. Dwarven resilience. You have advantage on saving throws against poison, and you have resistance against poison damage. Okay. Chapter 9. We're going to remember that, because I do actually want to see a little bit of a breakdown of how combat works, because I know there's advantage, disadvantage, but I'm curious to see, like, what are the things that cause this condition, you know, like what gives you advantage. I'd assume it's like the DM either pointing it out, or unless it's like a mechanical thing, but we'll figure that out. Okay, Dwarven trainings. Okay, so this is like racial proficiency with battle axe, hand axe, throwing hammer, warhammers. So you also gain proficiency with artisan tools of your choice. Okay. Oh, it has a bunch of stuff. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll probably take a look at Tasha's then at some point. If I don't, I think I might have a copy of it. I'll have to take a look. I'm pretty sure do I have a copy of Tasha's? Don't worry, now I'm looking on the side here, checking my collection. Is that Tasha's? No, dang. Okay. I may have forgotten. Unless did I put it in the wrong folder? Nope, I actually forgot. Well, we'll worry about that later. Okay. So, at least from what it seems like here, let's see. Oh, okay, so hill dwarves actually are a different variation in mountain dwarves. You can increase your strength score. You do that. Okay. Oh, 1 second. You know what? Let's jump to a different song. What's this? Ooh, okay, we'll leave that. Okay. Okay, so I guess there's different variations of dwarf if you wanted to do that. So, at least so far from what I'm seeing here, it looks like a lot of, where some of your proficiencies are determined from your character's race, I think. Unless maybe this is just a dwarf-specific thing, because, you know, the racial background of smithing tools, a brewer supply, or a masonry tool set. Okay. Let's see, stone cutting. Whenever you make an intelligence history check. Okay, so I assume that's... Well, I want to see how skills work, but we'll get to that. And it has 2 main sub-races. Okay. Actually, Dwargar, what is that? Oh, okay, so these are the guys that are in the Underdark. Okay, well, I think that's that for Dwarf. Let's take a look at Elf. I think like what are the most important, or not the most important, like the most commonly played races in D&D right around now? I'm kind of curious, because yeah, like I know I mentioned this before, but like I remember in older editions, it's like mostly human people played, but if the bonuses aren't that different or aren't that crippling anymore, I can totally see why everyone's playing different things now. It's honestly kind of great. Let's see. You think skill is the most important proficiency? Okay, I see. Oh, and it's got to be tiefling? I could see it being tiefling. They had a stats on race selection by survey. Oh. No one plays ASMR, dude, for real. I only know one person who played ASMR, and she played an ASMR paladin. And I think that was like, she's the only person that plays that I can even know. Is it even in 5e? I don't know. She played it in like, I think it was like Pathfinder or something. And that's like the only time I've ever heard someone play that. Let's see. Human fighter is still the rising or the reigning champ. I could understand why, but we'll probably find out if it's the same thing that I'm thinking about, because we were talking about it a little bit earlier, Kriznik. It might just be that, because like the bonus feat and maybe the extra 2 points. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, what do we got here? Elf. I know, I've been bouncing back and forth. Okay, elves live for a long time. Yep. They're slim, somewhat tall. Yep. The good old Tolkienism. What do we got here? Hidden woodlands, different realms, common elf names. Okay. Haughty but gracious. Okay. Now here's what I'm curious about. Let's take a look at traits, because I'm kind of curious to see what's up. Let's see, exotic races get pushed harder by people, make content for D&D. You know what? I'm okay with that though, because at least it's like, it's a bit more variety. You know what I mean? So I'm totally all right with it. I get that. Let's see. What do we got here? All right. Elf traits. Increased ability score. More dexterity. Okay. Let's see. Age. Obviously, they're going to live very long. Anywhere for 100. Wait a minute. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Elves reach physical maturity about the same age as humans. The elven understanding of adulthood goes beyond physical growth to encompass worldly experience. An elf typically claims adulthood and an adult name around the age of 100 and can live up to 750 years. Jesus Christ. That's a lot. Alignments. Elves love freedom. Right. The Drow are an exception. They're exiled into the Underdark. Made them vicious, dangerous. Drow are more often than not evil. Yeah. Getting old. They retcon the 100-year teenager thing. Oh, yeah, because I remember, I think we talked about that at one point where it's like, it's so confusing. It's like, what is the mentality of this? It's so strange. Okay. Alright, that makes sense. Let's see. And also, yeah, that too, like, Drow are typically, they were usually like the evil race in the older books, but I'm sure that's not always the case. I'm sure you can always write different characters or whatever. Nothing wrong with that. No, yeah, that explanation of the age is way better, because I was the 100-year-old teenager is just kind of funny. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. I'm down with that. All right, let's see what do we got. They're usually anywhere from under 5 feet to 6 feet tall, have slender builds, and they are a medium-sized creature. That's important. Okay, base speed, 30 feet. Good, I like that. I like 30 feet movement. Let's see, dark vision. Okay, cool, they have that. Let's see, keen senses. You have proficiency in the perception skill. That's very important. If it works as well... Okay, if perception is as important as it is in, like, other editions, it's going to be extremely valuable. Yeah, they're removing evil from all the races. Yeah, I could see that. It's like, look, I understand why they wouldn't want every single fantasy race to maybe have like an alignment connotation, but at the same time, I'm like, you can make monsters that have like a specific alignment. You can kind of do certain things like that. I get why they do it, but at the same time, it's like, you can kind of spin it in whatever way, really. It's kind of a tough one, but that's okay. I'm all right with that. Doesn't bother me. Fey ancestry. Let's see. You have an advantage on saving throws against being charmed, and magic can't put you to sleep. Oh. Well, that's good. Let's see. Trances. Elves don't need to sleep. Instead, they meditate deeply and remaining semi-conscious for 4 hours a day. Huh. Interesting. So they just like hit that REM sleep. They gain, okay, so they get the benefit of a human's 8-hour sleep cycle within the 4 hours. Okay, interesting. Let's see what else we got here. Language. You can speak, read, and write in Common and Elvish. Elvish is fluid with subtle intonations, intricate grammar, rich and varied. They're famous for that. Bards may learn their language to even add Elvish ballads to the repertoire. Interesting. Alright, what do we got here? These subraces. Let's see, we got High Elves, Wood Elves, Dark Elves, who are commonly called Drow. Okay. High Elf, you have keen mastery of the mind and basics of magic. Okay. Green Elf, let's see, Grey Elves, gotcha. Usual stuff you'd see in Dragonlance and Forgotten Realms. Okay. Okay. So this would be like if you were going to be doing that subrace and then... Okay, I can see the combos that you would want to do, like... Look, this is now the min-max part of my brain that's kicking in, where I'm reading this and I'm like, oh, if you wanted to make like a specific type of spellcaster, you could lean towards that. I mean, it's a little bonus. It's just a +1. That's like half a modifier, you know? Oh, whoops. Let's see, Elven weapon training. Okay, that's about the same then, I'm assuming. Yeah, proficiency with long swords, short bow, long bow. Okay. Wait, are crossbows a thing in 5th edition? I'm assuming probably, but we'll find out. Let's see. They get 1 cantrip. Okay. And an extra language. Not bad, not bad. Okay, Wood Elf, what do we got? Oh, okay, good. It has 3 crossbows. Ah, okay, gotcha. Okay, Wood Elf. They get the bonus to Wisdom. Then I just, if they get a bonus to Wisdom, then I would assume that would probably make them probably good as a druid or a cleric, right? Probably want to do that. Oh, they get 5 extra feet of movement. Nice. Sick. Awesome. Let's see. Mask of the Wild. You can attempt to hide even when you're only lightly obscured by foliage. Like, I could see certain situations or maybe like certain campaigns where that'd be useful, but at the other point, I could see where it's not super useful. Very much depends on what type of campaign you're playing. So, like, if you're out in the wilderness, I get it. If you're in the city, man, you better hope it rains. Ask your DM, hey, can I build a weather machine? Right. Let's take a look at Drow or Dark Elf. What do we got here? Okay. The other thing, too, yeah, the Drow lore is pretty cool. Let's see. Vanish on the surface world with their goddess of wealth. Yeah, that's pretty good. Evil and corruption. They built their civilization in the depths of the Underdark. Very interesting. So pale to be mistaken as white. Shades of lilac, silver, pink, red, and blue. Tend to be smaller and thinner than most elves. There are spells for weather. Wait, really? I was just joking. Oh, Dragonborn are terrible in this book. Oh man. Well, we'll see. I'm kind of curious because if they're that bad, I don't know. We'll find out. Oh, they get the bonus. Okay. Let's see. Drow adventurers are rare, and the race does not exist in all worlds. Please check with your dungeon master to see if you can play a Drow character. Look, I'm gonna be real with you. As a DM, you want to play a Drow? You could probably play a Drow. Sure, there will be some sort of hiccups when it comes to like NPCs, because typically that could be kind of like, you know, the situation. I mean, like that's the whole point that they were talking about earlier in this, but. You know, it's more or less, it depends on the DM and the campaign setting. Like, there are some campaign settings where it just doesn't matter, you know? Like, it's up to the DM. So, well, there's that at least. Let's see, Drow Magic. Let's see. Oh, hell yeah, this song's a banger, too. You know what? We're going to let this one ride it out. It doesn't matter. We're going to get the action music while we're reading. Okay. What do we got here? Drow Magic. Let's see, you learn Dancing Lights cantrip, and when you reach level 3, you can cast Fey Fire once per day. Okay, so they get like specific spells. They also get Darkness. Okay. Charisma is your spellcasting ability for these spells, and they also get that bonus to charisma. So I guess if you're gonna play a drow, you probably want to play like a sorcerer, if I had to guess, or like whatchamacallit, a warlock, right? Warlock's use charisma, I think. Well, we'll see when we get to the classes. I'm just going off on my memory. At least in from my loose knowledge that I know. Oh, okay, yeah, they have proficiency with hand crossbows. Wait, there's hand crossbows. Wait, can you do wield hand crossbows? Is that a thing? It probably is a thing. Maybe. And then here we get some flavor text here talking about the Underdark. Let's see. Okay. Unfortunately, they screwed her up in the MTG card. Aw, that sucks. Alright, what do we got next? We got Halfling. Okay. Let's see. They're inclined to be stout, weighing only 40 to 45 pounds. Okay. So they are short, 3 feet tall. What we got? Blending into crowds, adept, fitting into common, okay, into communities. Makes sense. Pretty straightforward here. What do we got? Halfling traits. Let's see. There are hand crossbows, light crossbows, and heavy. And yes, you can do wield the... Oh, hell yeah. I wasn't sure if that was like just a thing that was from the video game that I played, or if it's just like, you can just do that. I don't know. Because I usually, from my knowledge, it's like, isn't there like a bunch of penalties for like dual wielding? But we've never really done a campaign where you dual wield 2 ranged weapons, because I'm gonna be real with you. The only time we've ever had a class that's a gunner in like old editions or games that I've played, I think was like maybe the one time we played a 5th edition game and someone played like a ranged version of a fighter, but that's different. And then Pathfinder, I think, because you can have gunner, it is a class. It's just gunner's weird in Pathfinder because it plays like swashbuckler except with a gun instead of a sword. So you basically have to call your shots. I guess it's kind of like Battlemaster in 5th edition, but we'll talk about that. I hope it talks about some of the subclasses, because I am kind of interested in that. Okay, halfling traits. I know, I'm rambling. Here we are. What do we got? Let's see. 2 to Dex, that's good. Let's see. Reach adulthood at 20. Generally lives in the middle of century. Yep. Most are lawful good. Okay. Let's see. About 3 feet tall, weighing 40 pounds. Your size is small, and your base walk speed is 25. Interesting. Occult classes, the closest you can get outside of homebrew is warlock. Ah, I see. Okay. Alright, I'll keep that in mind for when we get to the character creation portion. So I'll probably try to make a warlock then. Okay. What is this? Lucky. When you roll a 1 on an attack... Alright, I like that. When you roll a 1 on an attack, or an ability check, or a saving throw, you can re-roll the die and must use the new roll. Okay. Brave. You have advantage on saving throws against fright. Dude, that's so good. Look, I guess that's just me because I like old editions of D&D, and like, dude, being feared is awful. It's so bad. So just having brave, that's awesome. You know, just getting advantage on that, so take the higher. Okay, I like that. I can deal with that. Let's see. Nimbleness. Can move through the space of any... Okay, so this is just like... Alright, that's fine. You can actually not have to worry about slipping around someone. Oh. They wanted to add hobbits, but Tolkien Estate hit them with a lawsuit, so now they're called halflings. Okay. Fair enough. Understandable. I can totally see that. Okay, what do we got? You can talk. Let's see, they can read and write in common and halfling. Let's see, the halfling language isn't a secret, but halflings are loath to share it with others. I'll be honest, I didn't know they had a language. I thought they just only spoke common. Well, guess you learn something new every day. Let's see, they have potential some really good roleplay if your DM leans into the patron. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Let's see. Okay. There are 2 main kinds of halfling, light-footed and stout. Okay. Light-footed, what do we got? Easily to hide. Increase your charisma score by 1 instead of dex? Or is that... Okay, now my question. Okay, so now this is something I'm not too familiar with. Just from looking at this. So when it says, say you're going with one of the subclasses or the subraces, and it says increase your ability score, take the charisma +1. Do you still get the 2 from dexterity score, or do you skip that? Do you only get the +1 to your other ability score instead? I'd assume you probably take that, right? Oh, you get both. Oh, I'm surprised. Usually you only get one or the other. Okay, I'll take that. Okay, what else? Naturally stealthy, you can attempt to hide. Okay, so this is just... Oh, so this is just the wood elf hiding feat. Okay. +1 constitution. You have advantage on saving throws against poison. Wow, that was really good. Yeah, plus advantage on saving throws against poison. You have resistance against poison damage. That's not bad. That's pretty good. Sounds useful to me. All right, what do we have next? Okay, you get the +1 from the base race and another sub race. Huh. Damn. So that plus with Tasha's Cauldron, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I should really sit down and take a look at that later. Okay, humans. Well, we kind of all know what a human is, I would hope. Let's get to it. Let's see. Different names, Templars. Well, there's a lot for all the different ethnicity. Oh wow. Okay, let's see. Traits. This is what I'm kind of curious about, because I'm gonna be honest, humans were really overpowered in old D&D. So I'm really curious to see, are they still overpowered? Or are they, like, at least more fair, I guess you could say. What do we got here? Hard to make a generalization by humans, but these are the traits. Ability scores +1, age, yeah, alignment, yeah, whatever. We already know that. Base 30 speed, that's good. Can read, write, and speak in common, and 1 extra language. Okay. Let's see, variant humans. If your campaign uses optional feat rules from Chapter 5... Okay, we'll take a look at that later. Let's see. Ability score increase. 2 different ability scores, your choice by 1. Oh, okay, so this is where it is. Yeah. Variant human rule. Okay. Increase your score by 1. Well, it says 2 different, so I guess you can't specifically choose that. Regular humans are boring, always go with that. Yeah, makes sense to me. Let's see. Gain proficiency in 1 skill of your choice. Always good. And gain 1 bonus feat. Feats are so good. I really hope this book has the feats listed, because I'm very curious to see what the feats are in 5th edition, because feats are kind of like everything. They're what define your build in old D&D, so I'm kind of curious like how impactful they are here compared to like older editions, but I guess we'll find out. Let's jump down. Actually, hold on. That's a cool looking dragonborn. Okay. What do we got here? They very much look like dragons in a humanoid form. Yep. Let's see. Uncommon races. Oh. Dragonborn and the rest of them, let's see, are uncommon. They don't exist in every world in D&D, and where they're found, they're less widespread than dwarves, elves, halflings, and humans. The cosmopolitan cities of the D&D verse. Let's see, most people hardly look twice, and most of the... Okay, so they would be seen as more of like, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess, exotic? Is exotic the word? I don't know. Just the rarer races. Okay. It's a dragonborn. Easy to assume it's a monster. Understandable. Gnomes don't look like a real threat. Can quickly disarm suspicion with good humor. Half-elves. Though many people have never seen a half-elf, virtually everyone knows they exist. Yeah. The half-orcs. It's usually safe to assume that a half-orc is belligerent or quick to anger, so people watch themselves when they're unfamiliar. I see. Okay. And tieflings. Okay. Alright. This looks like a page, alright. You're a half-orc guy. Oh, what's up, Mental Bob? Oh, man. Let's see what we got here. All right, Dragonborn traits. Let's see, your Draconic heritage manifests in a variety of different things. Oh, okay, so... Okay, all right. So you get to sort of choose your Draconic heritage. Okay. Let's see. Your strength score increases by 2 and your charisma by 1. The young Dragonborns grow quickly. Okay, so they end up being a bit older than your average human, or around the same lifespan. Okay. Let's see. Alignment. They tend to be, let's see, tend to extremes, making conscious choices on one side. I see. It makes me half orc IRL. Oh man. Okay, 30 feet movement. That's good. Oh, always love to see that. Okay, Draconic ancestry. What do we got here? Okay, so it's a different typing for... Oh, it's actually... Okay, so the breath weapon attack is actually different typing, and it's also just different attack cone. See, the new art is very Mexican inspired. Huh. Cool. I'll probably need to take a look at that again a little later. Oh, let me switch up this track. You know what? Let's go with... What's a fun track? Let's go with this. Yeah, we'll put that on in the background. Okay. Let's see, Draconic Ancestry. You have a Draconic Ancestor, one type of the dragon. Let's see, you take a breath weapon and damage resistances are determined by the type. Oh, okay. So I assume when it means damage type here, okay, if you're a black dragon, I guess you also get the resistance of acid there. Let's see, some of these breath weapons are, let's see, 5 foot by 30 foot line, so a straight line attack with a dex save, or you're getting a 15 foot cone, but depending on the type of damage, it's either a con or a dex save. Huh, interesting. Okay. Well, let me just adjust this, lower this a little bit. There we go. Well, actually, hold on. There we go. We'll play this track and we'll let it go down the list again. Okay. Let's see. Breath weapon. You can use your action to exhale destructive energy. Draconic ancestry determines the size and shape and damage of your exhalation. Or exhalation? Yeah, that's the word. All right. Let's see, when you use a breath weapon, creature must make saving throw. The type of saving throw is determined by your ancestry. The DC for this is equals 8 plus your con mod plus your proficiency. Okay, so yeah, again, this is more the case of, okay, so proficiency is like a pseudo BAB, but it's just used everywhere. And you know what? That's okay, I can take that. Okay, so proficiency plus your con mod. So I guess then when if you're doing a point buy, you'd probably want more con on a Dragonborn, at least what it seems like. Because you would probably want the DC for that to be decent, right? Let's see. A creature takes 2d6 damage on a failed save and half on that. The damage is increased to 3d6 and then 4d6. 5. Okay. So at least it scales. That's good. I was kind of worried it wouldn't, and then you would be stuck in an awkward position. But that's good. Let's see. After you use your breath weapon, you can't use it until you complete a short or long rest. Okay. I have questions about that, but we'll get to it, because we're gonna finish looking at the races, then we'll look at like the nuts and bolts part. We need to look at the rules, maybe some other things too. Okay. Damage resistance. A resistance to the associated type. Yeah, what does that mean though? Just damage resistant, like, and any numbers? Hello? But I guess we'll we'll figure that out a little later. I would assume it'd be like maybe half damage, depending. I don't know. I guess that's gonna be determined a little later. Okay. Gnomes. What do we got? Scroll down a little bit. Oh, resistance is half damage. Okay. Like, I have to ask because in certain things like that I've read, it's like it could either be half damage, it could be a percentage. It depends on like whatever source you're looking at. So I see damage resistant, my brain's like, okay, but by what? Like, what are we resisted by? Are we minusing like 5 or like, or are we trying to figure it out another way? Okay, that makes sense. Damage resistant means that you're resistant match type. Okay. You take half. Okay, alright. I'll take that. Makes perfect sense. Thank you. Alright. What do we got for gnome traits? Dragonborn resistance. Oh, okay, I see. Oh, right, because it's tied to the element of the breath that you use. Okay. Alright, fair enough. Damn. Wait, hold on a second. This is gonna... Alright, I'm gonna sound real min-maxy here, 5-head, okay? Then why would you never not want to be like a red, gold, or brass dragon? I mean, probably for lore reasons, but I'm just saying, when fire's like one of the most common things people are probably chucking at creatures, you know? A little bit of resistance wouldn't hurt. You know, look, that means you can tank your wizard's fireball. Just remember that for next time. Don't actually do that. Please don't fireball your party. Don't be me when I'm playing Dragon Age, okay? It's a bad idea. Right. Let's look at gnome traits, because I'm very curious what we got here. Fire is indeed a hot commodity. I mean, look, when some of the best spells just blow up your party, I mean, what can I say? It's kind of their fault. They were there. Anyways, let's look at gnome. Ability score increase. Okay, so they get a +2 in intelligence. See, gnomes mature at the same rates humans do. They're expected to settle down into adulthood around 40, and they can live up to 350 to 500 years. Wow. Hot damn. Okay. Self-target fireball. No, don't do that. You do not want to do that. That's a bad idea. Oh, man. Let's see. Alignment. Most often good. Let's see. Either law or sages, engineers, scholars. Okay, cool. Gnomes actually seem pretty cool. Let's see. Gnomes are usually between 3 and 4 feet tall, around 40 pounds, and you're small. So you get the 5 foot or the 5 foot penalty. But you know what? A 5 foot penalty is better than a 10 foot penalty. I'll take that. Let's see. Dark vision, always good. Gnome cunning. Let's see. You have advantage on all intelligence, wisdom, and charisma saving throws against bad. Okay, that sounds really good, actually. The only thing is, I don't know how often you'd be making these types of saves, because typically they usually only target like wisdom, right? I mean, having advantage over, you know, wisdom is always good, but at the same time, you know, just rambling on this, but you know, I'm just saying. New breath weapon allows you to use a number equal to your proficiency. Okay, that's way better, yeah. And sub one of your attacks if you're a class that allows you to have extra attacks. Ooh, I like that. Yeah, that's way better. What the hell? And that's in Tasha's? Damn. No wonder. Damn, Dragonborn's kind of cracked. Okay, I like that. Alright, what else? Language. You can speak Gnomish and Common. Nice. Sick. Okay. We have 2 sub-races. Forest and Rock Gnome. Okay. What we got? What do we got? Oh, interesting. Okay, so Forest Gnomes kind of have that tie to the forest. Illusions and trickery. Maybe a little bit of face stuff if that's more your thing. Don't mind me just having some water. Okay. Get the +1 to dexterity. Natural illusionist. You learn minor illusion cantrip. Okay. For roleplay purpose, minor illusion can be kind of good. You could probably do something with it. Intelligence or spellcasting. Speak with small beast. Okay, I could think that's also kind of cool. You can do some fun stuff with that, I'd imagine. Again, I would say that kind of depends on like where your campaign's taking place. But then again, small beast also count as like things like rats and stuff like that. So if you're in a city or you're in a forest, I'm sure you could get use out of it. Okay. Rock Gnomes. Let's see. You have natural innovation. Most gnomes in the D&D world are rock gnomes, including the Tinker Gnomes of the Dragonlance setting. Oh, good to know. Okay. Get +1 to Constitution. Artificer lore. Whenever you make an intelligence history check related to magical items, alchemical items, or technological devices, you can add twice your proficiency. Ooh, that's really good. Okay, so double dip proficiency bonus on top of all that. Let's see, Tinker. You have proficiency with artisan's tools. Yep, okay. Using those tools, you can spend 1 hour or 10 GP worth, create a tiny clockwork device. Huh? 5 AC, 1 HP. This device ceases to function after 24 hours. I mean, okay, cool. I mean, sure, why not? Let's see, when you use your action to dismantle it at that time, you have it go up to the 3 devices at once, create one of the following: clockwork toy, animal, monster, or person, such as a frog, mouse, bird, or dragon. Let's see. Moves 5 feet across the ground, random direction, makes a noise as an appropriate creature, fire starter, miniature. Ooh. I could think of some uses for these. Okay, you know what? I was a little on the fence with this, I'll be honest. A little on the fence at first, because it sounded not super amazing at the first part, but you had me in the second half here, because, well, these may not be, well, mid-maxi damage. These can be good for, like, roleplay stuff, or, like, some really cool things. Like, you can use this as, like, a distraction, as it makes noise appropriate to the creature. Maybe you can make, like, say you're in a situation where you're being hunted by these animals or like a big creature or something. You can make that miniature version, have it go out, and it'll make some noise and either create a distraction, or maybe it's the noise of the predator of those creatures, and they'll run away scared, you know? With fire starter, I could think of some things like that. You know, it could either be used as a light source, a campfire, or you can use it to start a fire. Like, say maybe your group is, I don't know, held hostage in the bad guy facility. You know what I mean? You could probably have one go out and start a fire. You know, you can get a little creative. And the music box, come on, it's just fun. I'm not going to complain about that. Let's see. In Fizzbands, the breath weapon is a D10 and scales with level. That's good. That's really good. Let's see. Type of dragon ancestry. You get a special ability that pertains to the dragon. That is good. You can also alter the breath. And also have Gem Dragon. Ooh. I like that. Okay, that's way cooler. That is like way cooler than what's here in this book. Well, you got me there. What can I say? All right, what do we got here? Half elves. Yep. About the same as I expected. What are our traits here? Let's see. Ability score increased to charisma. And to, oh wow, they do kind of get the benefit of both. Okay. Let's see. They're chaotic, bent on their elven heritage. Half elves are about the same size, medium, 30 foot. Thanks to your elven blood, you have the superior dark vision. Damn, they knew. Okay. Yeah, Fey ancestry. Advantage on that. Yep. Okay. Skill versatility. You gain proficiency in 2 skills of your choice. Okay, so that's not bad. I like that. Sounds pretty good to me. And half orc. Well, here we are. What do we got? Where's light vision? I want to stare into the sun. No light vision for you, I'm sorry. Okay. What do we have? Work traits. Increased score to strength by 2, constitution by 1. Okay, that's pretty good. Let's see. Half-orcs mature faster than humans. They reach adulthood around 14. They age noticeably faster and rarely live longer lives than 75 years. Oh. Inherently a tendency towards chaos, inheriting from their orc parent. Let's see. They range from 5 foot over to 6 foot tall. You're a medium. Base walk speed is 30. Thanks to your orc blood, you have the superior... Hey, wait a minute. Did they just copy and paste this? Hold on. They did. They copy and pasted it. You know what? I don't blame them. Okay. Menacing. You gain the intimidation skill. Fair enough. Let's see. Relentless endurance. When you reach 0 hit points, you are not killed outright, but you can drop to 1 hit point instead. You can't use this feature again until you have a long rest. Okay. I like that. That's good. Savage attacks. When you score a critical attack with a melee weapon, you can roll one of the weapon's damage dice an additional time. Damn, they have like really good crits. Okay. And they can speak Orcish or Orc and Common. Okay. One big thing about the spells in 5e is that different cantrips scale with level. So you don't have the high... okay. You can just use the cantrip. Alright. Okay, so at least cantrips still have their uses. I mean, well, I do like cantrips because they're basically the Swiss Army knife of, magic. But, okay, cool. And last but not least, Tiefling. I'm sure there's going to be a lot to read here. All right, what do we got? What are the traits? Intelligence score increased by 1. Your charisma score increases by 2. Tieflings mature at the same age. Okay, so basically the same age as humans. Tieflings do not have an innate alignment towards evil, but many of them end up there. Evil or not, independency natures, yeah, but they basically lean towards chaotic. Okay. Size as a human, medium size, base speed of 30. Yep, sounds good. Dark vision, always good. Hellish resistance. You have resistance to fire damage. Damn. So you're telling me I should get my Dragonborn and my Tiefling together and we just tank fireballs for days? Hell yeah. Okay, we speak Infernal. And that's that. Okay, well, before we get into the races, or, well, we just finished the races. Before we get into the classes, how are we feeling? I'll be honest. I kind of like it. I like how the races are, although I do want to say, after hearing what you said, Krusnik, about the Tasha's Cauldron version of Dragonborn, damn, Dragonborns are really good in that version. It kind of sucks that in this base edition, they're just okay. They're not, like, super amazing. They're kind of like the vanilla counterpart. But let's talk classes.